What's good, y'all? This Kev here, aka Shank Entertainment, back again with another video. It's literally 3 o'clock in the morning. Insane, right? I know. Chill off me. Chill off me. I'm a night owl. Y'all probably looking at me like, dude, you tripping? Go get some rest. Now I had to be obedient. I had 2 words that was on my mind, very, very heavy, that I just needed to just talk about. Like I said, I needed to be obedient. These words didn't stem from anything that I watched, read, or listened to at all whatsoever. It's just weighed on my spirit really, really heavy. So, and as you know, this channel is just not just football. It's not just fitness, not just music. We're going to talk about life, real life stuff. And I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to be nobody's pastor at all, by no means. But when I'm called to do certain things and I'm called to speak on certain topics, I just gotta do what I gotta do and be obedient, because evidently it's driving me closer to my purpose. Which brings me to my next statement. The 2 words that I'm referring to is gonna be, like I said, worry and purpose. I'm sure many of you have heard those 2 words, and you're probably asking yourself right now, how do those words even connect with each other? Like, where are you about to go with this? But about to figure it out right now. So purpose, what is purpose? Okay, if you want to take a second and just think to yourself what purpose is, you could do that, pause the video. So essentially purpose is the plan and the plan that God has for your life. All right, your calling evidently is your calling. Finding your purpose is not an easy task at all. Some people find it earlier than others. Some people find it later than others. But everybody in this world has a purpose, right? Unfortunately, some people die without knowing their true calling or fulfilling their true purpose. It's true. It's a true thing. It's sad to really sit here and think about, which we're not going to do, but it's a real thing. So identifying your purpose is going to be a huge part of your life, all right? So what is your calling? So let's step into how you even find your purpose. So purpose is evidently going to be your core values. You may ask me, what is a core value, Kevin? What is that? Core values are essentially those laws and those things that you may listen to or abide by every day to help you take action towards the things that you need to in life and the things that you want to in life. All right? So it's very, very essential to find your core values in life. It could be family, it could be love, it could be success, it could be wisdom, it could be risk-taking, it could be knowledge. Whatever it is to you, right? Go to Amazon, they got like a deck of cards that you can get, lay them out, pick out your core values if you need to, write them down if you need to. You may have heard some people wake up in the morning and they take a little Sharpie or a marker and they write on their mirror affirmations or words. Those essentially is going to be your core values in life. So when it comes to finding your purpose, you must have core values. There's just no other way around it. All right. All right. What else we got? And I got some things written down. So if you see me look to the side, I just got some stuff written down so I don't lose my train of thought. Finding your purpose, you must also find what are your hobbies, what are your interests, right? What do you really want to do? Like, what do you feel like you'll fit in that? And is your hobbies and interests going to help you move closer to your purpose? You have to ask yourself, and you'll find that out by actually doing your hobbies and interests and actually taking action towards those. And you'll start to see how your life around you is changing and where you're headed at. Like, you can just start to feel where you're headed at. A lot of stuff is a spiritual thing. You start to feel like you're headed in the right direction, or you're starting to feel like you're starting to veer off to the left in the wrong direction. Like, you'll know. Some people may try to force it, like how I did at a point in time when I wanted to play football, and I was just forcing it. And eventually I just said, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. It's not for everybody at all. So I had to move on to something else. Of course, I went through a season of me feeling like I wanted to take myself out of this world because it just didn't work. It wasn't happening for me. And I'm speaking in terms of football. And I was depressed. And many of y'all who know me know I've been through, and I mean know me, know I've been through a period of my time in my life where I was suicidal. It was a tough battle for me. I'm still here to live to tell that story. A lot of people go through that, believe it or not. It's actually a really, really common thing. I advise that if you're going through that situation, that you do seek help. Don't just let it be. And pray about it. That's what I did too. It sounds cliche, but literally pray about it. I promise you. I've been through it. I've been through it. Everything I want to tell y'all in this video, I've been through. And this is what I got from what I've been through. All right? Anyway, next thing we have, what are your strengths and what are your areas of opportunity? Identifying those is going to be a huge part in identifying your purpose. Huge part. Okay? Some people's strengths could be talking. Some people's areas of opportunity could be talking or speaking. But you must identify those. When you identify those, you identify yourself. You identify, based upon my strengths, this is where I could go. This is where I can see myself going. This is the room I can see myself entering. All right? In areas of opportunity, you start to figure out things that you need to work on to get you closer to your purpose in life. Right? Okay. Next thing, what problems do you want to solve in this world? It's a lot of problems in this world. So many problems. The world is ran off of a lot of negative things that's transpiring around in this world. It's a lot of things that could be better, could be fixed. A lot of different things. Will your product, will your item, will your program be beneficial to the world, be beneficial to your family, your children? Will it actually bring about everlasting change, right? Will, when you pass on, right, because it's going to happen one day, will you leave a legacy? Will your legacy leave the impact on this world to the point where it's solved problems? Be a problem solver. It'll take you far in life. Trust and believe that. Another thing when it comes to identifying your purpose is, what generational curses do you have in your family? And I'm sure many of y'all have heard those words before and that term before many times, whether it's from a motivational speaker, whether it's from a preacher, athlete. Generational curses is a thing, is a thing. So identifying your generational curses in your family is going to bring you closer to your purpose. Been there. You may also ask me, what is a generational curse? A generational curse is essentially those patterns and those choices / actions that previous people in your bloodline have chosen to do, and essentially you're kind of paying for it in a way. Everything is a spiritual thing. You have to realize that everything is a spiritual thing. So identifying those and being able to break those curses is going to be essential to fulfilling your purpose on this world. All right? How do you break those curses? How do you overcome those things? Glad you asked. One of the main things, and the number one thing is, and you better not argue with me, because it ain't no argument, is going to be prayer. Prayer is literally the number one thing. Literally number one thing. I don't care what anybody tell y'all. Prayer is going to be the number one thing that's going to help you break those generational curses. Because when you pray, you start to build that relationship with God. And when you build that relationship with God, He starts to show you different things. Right? He speaks to you in different ways. You just need that ear to hear Him during that process. So prayer is going to be a number one thing. Finding your purpose requires patience. Something that I struggle with, something that a lot of people struggle with. Patience is not an easy thing at all. Us as human beings, we want things to happen now, yesterday. All right? It's good to have goals and certain time frames when you want to accomplish certain things in life. That's completely fine. Don't get me wrong. That's completely fine. That's having a plan. But you have to be realistic with yourself, right? So having that patience to trust the process, and I know many of you have heard that term before as well. Trusting the process. Patience is essential for spiritual growth. Many of y'all who follow me on TikTok or have seen my video on other social media platforms know I spoke on growth. At the beginning of the year, growth. Spiritual growth. You need that to be on the path of finding your purpose. You need to be spiritually aligned, right? You need to be aligned with your purpose. Aligned spiritually, right? Aligned with God, right? You don't want to veer off. Patience is the key to wisdom. Wisdom is a huge thing when it comes to finding your purpose because it helps you make certain decisions, right? You ever been in a room and you make a decision and you know if it's the right decision or not decision based upon that little voice in your head telling you yes or no? And do you go and you make that right call and it feels good? Yeah, that's wisdom. You don't get that from no substance or anything like that. You get that straight from God. God gives you that. God gives you wisdom. And if you feel like you don't have wisdom, ask God to give you the ear to hear him and understanding more and more so that you're able to identify right from wrong in your life. All right. Next thing is patience is going to be a demonstration of faith. Something else is also hard because us as human beings, we start to lose faith when things get hard. I know I have plenty of times. I even still go through it right now. I'm not perfect by no means, so don't ever think that anything that I'm telling you in this video is something that I've mastered. No, I didn't master. I'm going through it just like you may be going through it. So faith is going to be a big thing, like I said. Having faith is going to require discipline. It's going to require patience, most definitely. Like they literally tie hand in hand. Like there's no if, ands, or but about it. You may ask yourself, what is faith? Faith is just trusting in God that He is able to, and He's gonna basically come through for you. Just to dumb it down, He's gonna come through for you in the right timing, according to the plans that He has for your life. All right. So patience is going to be demonstrating faith. Like I said at the end of this video, at the beginning of this video, that I also had written down, faith is also going to be a hard task. Like I said, you will be tempted during the season of patience, during the season of having faith, during the season of discipline. You will be tested. Temptation is a real thing. It's real. Some examples of ways you'll be tested is they may come in form of opportunities. They may come in form of substances. They may come in form of life struggles. Like when people go through certain things and they're just trying to get their spirit right and spiritually aligned, some people find themselves going through such a hard time and they give up and they resort to other things instead of just staying with it and not giving up. I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. Little quick story. And many of you know that I was never a smoker or anybody who drunk anything at all. Like, that just wasn't me. Coming up in high school, that just wasn't me. Everybody knew that wasn't Kevin Height. So when I got out of high school and stuff started getting hard for me and life wasn't making no sense and I couldn't find my purpose and I felt like I was drifting off and life was hitting me different ways, financially, spiritually, health-wise, contributing factors from other people was just weighing in on me. Past things that people have spoke over my life were starting to haunt me again. I resorted to substances. I just wanted to feel normal, or I wanted to feel like I wasn't here no more. So I did what I did. That made me feel better. But until I realized that those problems that I had, those things that I was battling with was still going to be there once I sobered up. It was still going to be there. Until the thought process that I have right now went out the window and I started back doing it again. I'm like, yeah, this stuff is taking too long. I'm tired of doing right. I'm tired of taking this route. Nothing good is working for me. Nothing is making sense for me. You know why it's not making sense? Because I didn't educate myself. I didn't fill myself up with wisdom. I didn't do the things that I needed to do to make it make sense. Anyway, back to the show. So I went through a period of time when I resorted back down that road of doing the substances and stuff, and then I ended up having an attack on me, which affected my health. I'm not going to go into that. That's a different story for another day. But it ended up happening, believe it or not, because that wasn't me. That wasn't my purpose. That wasn't my calling. That's not what I was supposed to do. That was never me, and I don't know why I did that. But I wanted to feel like I mattered. I wanted to feel normal again. I wanted to be happy, and I felt like in that point in time, it made me feel that way. I feel like it gave me that juice that I needed to do the things that I needed to in life. Where I felt like I needed to in life and wanted to in life, right? I feel like I only function with that, but life showed me otherwise. Anyway, during your process of patience, you must have a valid plan and strategy, right? And vision and guidance. You literally need all those things during the process of patience. Whether that's you writing stuff down, whether that's you jotting stuff down on your phone, you're always going to need a plan. Whether that's a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, you need a plan. A realistic plan for your life. And nobody should be able to tell you what your plan is for your life. I know a lot of people who deal with their parents telling them the way that they should be going about stuff and what they should or shouldn't be doing and what they feel like they should be aiming towards. Don't get me wrong, it's good to take advice from your parents as far as life and learn from them, but it's also essential to know the things that you want to do in your life and identify your calling for your life and identify the things that you want to do and need to do for your life as well. That's how you build yourself up. That's how you are able to grow, right? So having that plan, and it's okay to get some help on the outside sometimes as far as advice. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But you want to know your plans. You want to know your purpose for your life and have a plan to go with that as well. Many people worry and are anxious during the process of patience. I know I have been, for sure. Anxious could be a good and a bad thing to a certain extent. Anxiousness, so you have the good anxiousness to the point where you're just excited, like, oh my God, yes, I just can't wait for this to happen. This is going to be so good. Then you have the anxiousness, like, oh my God, something bad is about to happen. Oh my God. Man, what's next? Man, this is coming up. You have that anxiousness as well. It's two kind of different things, but they both tie into worrying still at the end of the day, which was the other word that I had put in the thumbnail. So let's talk about that. God says to not be anxious about anything, but instead present your worries to him with thanksgiving. And in doing so, having faith that he'll guard your heart and fulfill his promises that he has for your life, right? So, essentially you want to cast all your anxieties and all your anxiousness on him, because if you really step back and think about it, tomorrow is not even promised. So, or the next 5 seconds is not even promised to you at all whatsoever. So for you to be anxious to you, like tomorrow's promise is kind of contradicting for your own self. Like, nobody ever said that that was going to happen. Like, you're having faith that it's going to happen. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to be anxious for anything. Like, you need to just let stuff happen and let stuff be, and let God take control. Let God take the wheel, if that makes sense. I already spoke on that. Ooh, big thing. It's essential to speak life over your life. So, and I'm constantly needing a reminder on this every single day. Literally. Wifey always tells me, stop speaking so negative. I don't want to hear that negative stuff. And you have to be careful what you say out of your mouth. Literally, you have to be careful what you speak out of your mouth. Because power lies in the tongue of life and death. So when you start to speak negative things over your life, in negative words, like what's some examples? I'm not, I can't, I hope, maybe. I'm not gonna be able to do that. I can't do that. I'm never gonna be able to do that. You're literally speaking death over your life and over your future and over your purpose. Believe it or not, you can literally exit out your calling of your life when you tend to do that. Instead, replace those words with I can, I will, I have done, I am that, I am him. I know some of y'all heard about that. I am her. I am going to do this. I will get that. It's here. It's already happened. I decree and I declare. Like, you have to replace those. It's easier said than done, though. It's literally easier said than done. But try practicing those things, right? Discipline yourself to just speak life over your life. Think good about yourself, despite what anybody else in the outside world may think about you or what you think they may think about you. You got to speak life over your life. You can do it. I'm in the process with y'all, though, so don't think that like I said, I'm above y'all in any way, shape, or form. I'm going through this life process with y'all as well. Another thing, when it comes to your purpose, a lot of people feels like with their purpose that they need to be rich. And rich meaning physically rich, money and materialistic things, right? All those things are good. Nice car, nice house, nice clothes. That stuff is good. That's stuff that I like. As you can see, I got the chrome hearts on, you feel me? I like nice stuff. I do. Everybody does. Even Bill Gates. He might not wear the fly and stuff, but gonna show you like nice stuff. But that shouldn't be your main goal. Instead, I don't even like the word rich. I like the word wealthy. I like words that sound everlasting and forever and like it's gonna like durable. I like wealthy. So we're gonna stick with wealthy. I'd rather for y'all to be spiritually wealthy than physically wealthy, right? When you're spiritually wealthy, right, you are able to you feed your mind with the knowledge that it needs, and you get that knowledge from the word, and you get that knowledge from experience, and you get that knowledge from having a better understanding, and you get that knowledge from even people as well. You get that knowledge from dreams. You see where I'm going with that? Different ways that God speaks to you, right? Spiritually aligned with your purpose. You want to be spiritually wealthy before you're physically wealthy, right? All right. Lastly, I'm not going to hold y'all for too long. And these are some questions to dwell on that I'm about to ask you. These are some questions that I had to ask myself. These are not questions that I got off the internet. These are not questions that I even heard from anybody else. These are like questions that I literally had to sit in the dark, and ask myself and be real with myself. Sometimes you just got to do that. Go into your quiet place. Go into your happy place. Go into your place with God, as my mom used to say. Right? When it comes to finding your purpose, will you be willing to give up certain relationships, substances, and habits? Will you? It's not an easy thing at all whatsoever. It's not. None of this is easy. Nothing good comes easy. Nothing good comes fast. So ask yourself, will you be willing to give up certain things and separate yourself from certain people? Because believe it or not, where you're trying to go at in your life and the plans that God had for your life, it's a spiritual thing, like I said. If somebody else's spirit that's not spiritually aligned and you're attaching yourself with that, or you're being around that, or allowing yourself to be influenced by that, you're kind of holding yourself back in a way. Like you're in the middle of it. Like you're allowing the enemy to be able to have that seep hole to be able to kind of get to you and influence you and corrupt your mind and your thinking and your ways, right? But ask yourself that. This is a big one. Are you willing to accept that your purpose for your life, that you think is for your life, may not be the purpose that God has called for your life? Are you willing to accept that? Some people not. Some people, like I said, try to force it. Some people really, really try to force it and it never goes right. They're stressed out 24/7. The resources not there. The people is not there. The money not there. The time is not there. The health is not there. So ask yourself, are you willing to accept that? It's not an easy thing. Trust and believe that. It's not. And that doesn't mean that certain things that you want to do in life isn't going to transpire or happen. God may just use you in a different way to get to certain things. Remember that. Are you ready to feel uncomfortable through this process? Are you willing to feel uncomfortable through this process? Are you? You got to ask yourself that. That's between you and you only. Are you willing to let God use you? That ties into the previous question I just asked. Are you willing to are you willing to be uncomfortable? Sometimes when God uses you, he puts you in predicaments and situations to the point where you might not feel the most comfortable. You might not be the most prepared. So are you willing to let God use you so that you're able to obtain the things that you want to in life. And so you're able to get to the calling that you have over your life. Are you willing to study and practice and do the things that you need to help you get to the place that you want to in your life? That's something else that's not easy. That ties into discipline. Something else that I struggle with. Consistency, discipline. It's something else that I struggle with. It's the reason why when I did YouTube the first time, it didn't really go nowhere. I wasn't even enjoying it. I wasn't even consistent enough to enjoy it at all, whatsoever. Same thing with football. So, are you willing to educate yourself, study, practice? Another one. Why you? What makes you different from the rest? What makes you different from somebody else who wants to do the same thing that you want to do in life? What makes you different from them? Or somebody else is already doing it? What makes you different from them? What do you bring to the table that's different? Right? Why you? Is your product or your brand going to be different than theirs? Why you? And lastly, this ties back into what I talked about in the beginning of this video. And that's basically, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Why? What gets you moving forward in life? What gets you going? What keeps you going? What pushes you? Some people, believe it or not, need that push. What pushes you? For some people, it's a struggle. For some people, it's certain plans that they have for their own life. Certain targets that they want to meet by a certain age, by a certain time. What gets you going? What is your why? I'm going to leave you with those questions. If you need to, write those questions down, answer them. Write them down, do whatever you got to do. And just answer those questions. And then 3 months from then, look at those questions again. See if your answers change. If your answers change, write them down. Some of y'all may notice that your answers may change to these questions as time goes on. As you start to move closer and closer to your purpose in your life. You never know. You never know. You never know where God is going to take you. You never know where life is going to take you. You never know where you are going to take you based upon the actions that you put in every day. Based upon the hard work that you put in every day. The discipline that you have every day. The consistency that you have every day. The patience that you have every day. The faith you have every day. The generational curses that you will break from time to time. The less worrisome you are. And the more you cast your anxieties and your anxiousness on the Lord. So, I appreciate y'all for joining this video. Anybody who's watching this video, I hope that you are touched by this video. Like I said, I didn't come on here to be a preacher or a motivational speaker by no means. It was just weighing heavy on my soul for some reason. And I just needed to speak on that. Like I said, you can come to this channel for anything, pretty much. For anybody who's subscribed to my channel, you know that I cover a lot of college football stuff, and I'm into music, and also like fitness, and I do a lot of stuff with wifey, and the whole 9 yards. Like, you just never know what you're gonna find me uploading every single day. So, but I appreciate y'all. Like I said, share this if you felt touched. Feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section. Please be respectful to myself and others as well. And let me know what you like most about this video and what you got from this video. But without further ado, y'all have a good rest of y'all day, rest of y'all night, whatever time that y'all end up seeing this video. And y'all just be blessed. I appreciate y'all. Have a good rest of y'all day.